President Trump promising Latino voters in Florida a secure border and an end to migrant crime, while Kamala Harris uses a Telemundo interview to make her pitch to Hispanic voters. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis joins us now. Governor DeSantis, great to have you this morning. I want to start with this poll of USA Today. And what you see here is Trump with an 11-point lead among Latino voters. You did extraordinarily well with Latino voters in your race for governor. Are you seeing a trend of Latinos going toward the Republican Party?
Well, certainly in Florida, I think Donald Trump will do very well. He'll win Hispanics. I think we won 62 or 63% 2 years ago in 2022. And I don't think Kamala Harris is going to play well at all. I think one of the things in Florida that's been exciting is, you go back when I got elected governor, there were 300,000 more registered Democrats. Now we're into this election. We have 1 million more registered Republicans now in Florida. And I think you're seeing Hispanic voters play a big part of that. So this is the first presidential election, certainly in modern history, where Florida is not a swing state. Florida is going to go clear red across the board.
Governor, I want to talk to you about some of these amendments because they're very important in the state of Florida. I want to start with Amendment 4. This is the abortion initiative in Florida, and we've seen the Republican Party lose every single abortion ballot initiative across the country. And what people don't realize is the language is vague in these. It often leads to taxpayer-funded abortion, no parental consent, abortion until birth being legalized. It's rather radical. But in Florida, there's going to be language on the ballot explaining much of that. There's also a 60% threshold. Do you think you can win on Amendment 4?
No, absolutely. I think once people figure out the things you just said, and this was written very vaguely and deceptively, it should not even been on the ballot because they're trying to fool people. Their ad campaign talks nothing about their ads. They're just lying about Florida law. One of the things in Amendment 4, you're exactly right. Abortion till birth will likely lead to taxpayer funding. It eliminates parental consent for minors, which is absolutely extreme and radical. But it does something that I don't even think California or Colorado, some of these states did. It allows non-physicians to green light abortions up until the moment of birth. And they had always talked about the importance of the physician. So we've got a lot of physicians in Florida who are speaking out against it. So if you're pro-life, obviously this is an easy no. But even if you're not, I don't know very many people who want to see abortion till birth or think that physicians should be displaced in favor of health care provider, which you and I know can be a whole host of different things short of a licensed physician.
Sure. Another amendment that's very important is Amendment 3, and we're going to put up what Amendment 3 would mean. And this is about legal weed. And Governor DeSantis, one thing, a case that your team is making is that this would not limit it in public places. So is Florida going to start smelling like New York, God forbid, if this passes?
That will happen, yes. And here's the thing. This amendment, how did this get here? That's one big weed company has spent $100 million. And they wrote the amendment to benefit them, not to benefit the people of Florida. So this is not about freedom because they don't let you grow your own weed. If you want to do that in your backyard, you got to buy it from them. They create a big weed cartel. But on the other hand, they don't limit use in public. So you will see rampant use. So to me, this is anti-freedom. They don't let you grow your own. But on the other hand, people that don't want to be involved in marijuana will have their freedoms infringed upon when this is in our parks, on our beaches, just like it is in Colorado, in California, and places like that. And I would say this is a horribly written amendment. If you don't like weed, obviously you vote no. But even if you do, you have to read the actual text. This amendment actually gives the big weed companies total immunity from any civil liability. So if they sell you bad weed, you can't sue them. This is not something that should be in a constitution in the state of Florida. We have medical marijuana that's legal in Florida. People can get cards and do it, but we have not let it run rampant around our state and infringe on people's quality of life. If this amendment passes, it will reduce the quality of life in the state of Florida. There's no question.
Well, the text does matter, and I actually saw on that Amendment 4 about abortion a pro-choice voter saying in an ad why she was voting against it. So very interesting, very important. Governor DeSantis, thank you as always.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.